Hello everyone, I'm back. I just repositioned my camera a little bit, so I think it's more centered over the mat. So we'll see how this goes. I also have a new case for my phone, and it doesn't seem to really like it very much, but we'll see how it goes. So, hi. So I recently completed this field guide journal, and it's such a lovely little size that I decided I wanted to do some more of these. So I have gotten some more field guides, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the wildflower guide, came with this cover, and the insect guide, which came with this cover. But I also recently purchased these two bird guides, and it's interesting to see how the covers changed over time. Just checking this frame. So this is the oldest one. This one is from 1947. Yes, it's the third printing. So it was originally 1934, and this one's 1947. And this is a very matte paper. It has black and white, mostly black and white, some color plates. And what was really interesting to me is it has no maps. And then this field guide has, this cover is much more fabric-y, which I really, really like this cover the best. This is the same kind of cover that I had on that shells one. This is a glossier, smoother finish. It must have some kind of plastic coating to it. They all have this scale. This one is nice because it also has a metric scale on it, which is interesting. And this one is from 1980, and it also has maps by Virginia Marie Peterson. And this one has all the maps in the back. So this is like the one that I kind of grew up with, which I think is super interesting. And there's still there's still a few black and white images, I should say, but most of the plates are color in this one. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so that's that, but I'm going to put both of these bird ones aside and do these bird ones at a different time. Where would I put them? Put them right here. So, I'm going to put these covers aside. I may or may not use them. They're interesting. The illustrations are lovely. But I'm just going to put them to the side for now because I'm not sure about them. And on this wildflower one, I actually started to excavate it a little bit or take it apart before I thought I should stop because I opened it and I was so excited. This one has really interesting end pages that I want to leave. So on the first one that I did, it didn't have really interesting end pages, so that when I recovered it, when I redid the inside of it, I laid the closure ribbon down through the whole book, and then I just covered that with some cardstock, some scrapbooking paper, and some fabric in the spine. But could you hear my dog? He's asking my husband to please take him for a walk. And he's a husky, so he makes his desires and needs known to all the world. Anyway, so that was how I handled that one, but I'm going to handle this one a bit differently because I would like to preserve these end pages. Luckily, they came apart pretty easily. So what I did on the front was I just found that back page, and see how these two are kind of glued together? Well, they also separate really quite easily, or at least they did on the front. So I'm going to separate that out. And once you unglue, thank you, knife. Daddy's going to take you for a walk in a bit. Just be patient. He'll be right with you. You good boy. And you can see how it just starts to all come apart once you get that back cover off. And then what you can do is, this is going to come right apart really super easy. And I'm just going to take my craft knife and help it along. But I really want to be careful because I don't want to cut the paper or the back cover. So far so good. So I'm really just pulling, and I'm just trying to be careful with it so that I don't rip things, because I'd have to change my plans. So I'm not pressing very hard. I'm just kind of pulling at the paper a little bit to weaken it, to help this one, because I really would like to preserve that end page. Come on, you. There we go. There we go. And there I have the book block. And what I was able to do on that shell one was I was able to also remove these headbands, and then I incorporated the headbands and this paper into the journal. And in that one, I used them for the raggedy paper clip tabs, which was kind of fun. I might do again, like some kind of raggedy tab. All right, I will wrestle with this off screen, but I intend to, ooh, look at how fun these are. I intend to incorporate these images in the book and maybe some of the pages as well. So that will go with that. And I have a really quite a nice cover to this one. And I feel that it has a really nice toothy cloth cover. So what I think I'm going to do with this one is I have some fabrics. This is Tim Holtz fabric. And this is a scrap, but it has this really kind of nice, oh, that one doesn't have as nice a floral. But I have another bit of the same fabric. And I'm going to, I'm sorry, was that like making you dizzy? I apologize. Oh, look at that nice floral. So I'm going to use this floral, and I think I will use it across the whole thing like that, because I can incorporate a lot of it. And right down the spine to reinforce the spine, and then across these pages. And then when I go to put the signatures in, hold on, I'm rethinking my plans. I liked how that one was a hidden spine. And I had originally been thinking I would make this one a hidden spine as well. But if I do a hidden spine, I will lose that lovely giant floral. So here's another bit of that here. Do I want to just position this so that the floral is entirely on the inside here? And that, yeah, maybe I'll do that. And that way, if I have to cover this spine with another bit of fabric, yeah, I think I'm gonna use that bit. Okay, thank you for helping me decide that. So I'm gonna fold that up, put that to the side, because that is gonna be one journal and one cover. And I can put this one away because I'm going to use a different fabric for the other. So here's my field guide to insects. This has a name on it, but I just think that that adds to the provenance of this. So I am just going to pull this back. Again, trying to preserve the end pages. And look, it's already coming apart. So this is the most recent one. Oh, that just came right apart, didn't it? Let's go to the back. Oh, well, that's interesting, isn't it? That one seems to be coming apart much more easily than the first. So I'm just prying it apart. Oop, and I was using my craft knife to get at any stubborn bits, but it wasn't very stubborn. So this is what the insect one looks like. Look at all those lovely little beetles. And then here are the color plates in the center. I'm just looking at where the strings are. So I should be able to take these strings out wherever the center is of the signature. There they are. And I think that will take out the whole center signature of color plates. Well, that's kind of fun. I like that. Oh, that's such a good bee. I might have to do another bumblebee. Very cool beetles. I wish these were in color. Look at that wing page. This is such very, very cool. Okay. Alrighty. So that is the book block for that book. I can put my this away. And for this, I really want to use the bugs, the Tim Holtz bugs. Insects, entomology. And same thing. I think I'm going to make sure I have most of the bugs. So I have more of that, but I'm not going to need it, which is lovely. This will do. And then the closure for these is going to have to be through the cover, I think. One way or another. Or maybe I could do an elastic through the spine. Okay. So now that, let's see, I have it apart. I have my fabrics picked out. If I do an elastic through the spine that kind of wraps around, I think I'd rather do it through the cover, because I'm going to have that area covered, and if you want to change it or if the elastic dies, it would be very hard to replace. So yeah, I think I'll do it through the cover. So do I need to add any extra protection to this spine? It's in pretty good shape. And I'm going to glue the fabric right down to it. So the fabric is going to act as a reinforcement. So I don't think I actually need to reinforce that spine additionally. Okay, so let's see about getting this torn down to the right size. So I do like the frayed edge, and I don't mind the frayed edge sticking out a little bit. I think that gives it some character and lets you know that it is a journal made from a field guide and not an actual field guide. So I am going to tear this down right here on this bit. Okay. And the bugs are going to go like this. Right? Yeah, that's how they're going to go. So really, I could tear out this diagram right there. So let me tear down this edge here. Okay, so that'll be that corner there. How much do I want to have hanging over? It's probably too much. Because I'm not doing it to the, I've got to remember, I'm just attaching this to that cover page. That's okay if the fabric sticks out a little bit. Sorry, I'm figuring this out as I go. Okay, that looks good to me. It's going to have to go right in there. That's gonna have to get tucked in there and really, yeah, like that. And then, so this is gonna end, pardon me, it's gonna end right here along this line here. And then I think I needed to straighten out that bottom, this bottom one. I don't think that's torn. That bottom one is cut, which is actually not as reliable as a good old tear. Okay, so then to get this to the right place, I'm going to tear. Where am I going to tear? I'm going to tear right along this black line here. Okay. All right, let's see. How'd we do? I want the buggier side to go on the front and the less buggy side to go on the back. All right, and I'm gonna fold it in half. And when I place it down with my glue, I'm gonna place the center of this fabric in the center of the spine to try and make sure it's as even as possible. And what kind of glue am I gonna use? I have a Fabri-Tac, and I have some bookbinders glue, PVA glue. Let's do that. Should work just fine. Yeah, having the wax paper around the edges really does help. I highly recommend that technique for glue. Because before I did that, I had a heck of a time getting that cover off. Okay, let me just grab a wipe before I start gluing. There, that one's kind of dried out. I'm gonna grab two. Close my wipe up better. And here I am, I'm just gonna paint this right on. It's super thick. And I wanna get right in the creases there. And right up to the edge. I'm not gonna do a new separate headband. I am just gonna squish the fabric in, and the frayed edge of the fabric will be my headband. Okay. And then this is in half. And let's get that out of there. I have a bone folder. I think that looks like half. How does that look when I spread it out? It looks pretty good. So I am just going to squish that down. And I want it really to get in there and reinforce the spine and that kind of delicate fold, this delicate fold right in there. And I want it to be right up until the edge. Okay. I like that. I like how that looks. Okay, so now I'm going to trim down all these bits. Okay, now I'm going to do the back of this front cover. I should probably get something underneath there, shouldn't I? Hold on. Hold your horses. Where's my piece of plastic? Here's my nice piece of plastic. This is actually off the cover of a teacher's schedule book, record book. Works very well. really want into that groove because that fabric is supposed to be protecting. Oh, that's okay. It's on plastic. Oh dear. So how are you all? I had a lovely day today. It was my mother-in-law's 86th birthday. And we've been continuing to mask all week long, even though the rest of the world is unmasked, because we knew we were going to go see her for her birthday. And we tested this morning and it all was clear. So my husband and I drove up and we met his cousin, who really grew up as very close extended family, and met her. The rest of her family is away, so it was just, she was just representing, and both of my kids had other commitments today, so we were representing, but we had a lovely lunch and a lovely visit and some lovely reminiscences. And it was just, you know, very nice day to celebrate a nice long life. Okay. So let's wipe this down a little bit. This glue really is very, very thick and sticky. Okay. Paper towel. Okay. That's quite good, I think. So it's a little damp and floppy, but that's okay. It's gone to paper. So it is now fabric reinforced paper. Why is that not getting in there? I really need that to be up close and personal with that bit right there. Okay, so maybe I should leave something in between there. Do I have another piece of plastic? I'm sure I do. I save plastic in a kind of a ridiculous kind of way. Okay, there we go. We'll put this bit of packaging right there so anything that leaks through doesn't stick to the inside front. And now we'll do this side here. Yep, that's already sticking. That's good. And then I will do the same thing to the other journal, but I think I'll probably do that off screen because you don't need to see this over and over. So I was very excited that this arrived yesterday. I couldn't wait to get started. So my husband just took the dog for a walk, so that's why he's not making his voice and needs known anymore. And that my daughter is at work at the horse barn, and my son and his buddy took off today and went north to do a day of skiing. And they texted just a little while ago saying they were on their way back. Yeah, so it's a nice Saturday. I needed this Saturday. Man, last week felt very, very long. First day back from our February vacation. And so our day at work starts at school. We usually get to school around 6:30. The kids show up at 7:10, but you always need a little while to kind of get situated before they show up and prepare for the day, because you know you never know if you're actually going to have the day, any time during the day to get ready, because we're so short-handed when it comes to subs. So if any of the other teachers get sick, or if their kids are sick, you know, we cover for each other, which is, it is what it is. I don't know if that's how it should be. I think it'd be great if there were enough subs, but there aren't, so what can you do? Well, they could pay them more for one thing, and then they'd recruit more, but never mind. So yeah, so we usually get to school around 6:30, which means he usually gets up first. We work at the same school, so we commute together. And so he wakes up first and showers and gets dressed, and then he goes downstairs to make the coffee, and I make the coffee on weekends. And I pop in the shower or get dressed or do whatever I have to do and come downstairs, and we leave the house by, so he usually gets up around 4:30 or 5, and I'm usually in the shower by 5:30, so we can leave the house by 6. Anyway, it's an early start, and it takes a little bit of conditioning. If left to our own devices, I think we naturally sleep till around 7. So it's hard to get used to that schedule after having been off for a week. I'm just tired. All right. I'm happy with how that feels. It has a very nice, stable feel to it. Okay. So that is how I'm going to do the covers. I'm going to stop there. I'm going to do the other one, and then I'll do another video to show you what I'm going to do with papers and signatures. I have a couple of different paper packs that I'm going to use, and we'll spend some time doing that. So thank you so much for watching. And if you could, please click like and subscribe and hit the bell and leave a comment. Let me know what you guys are up to. I hope you have a great weekend. Stay safe. Bye-bye.